We were invited by the National Trust to make a new artwork for Peckover House, inspired by two families, the Peckovers and the Penroses, and we were naturally drawn to artist Roland Penrose, who was a surrealist and friend of Picasso, Max Ernst and Man Ray.
One of the things that fascinated us when we came first to the house was the idea that all the contents were sold before it came into the care of the National Trust. So only a few items that you actually see in the house are authentic or original to the property. So whatever we introduced to the house was going to be new, and this idea that it didn't need to be original and authentic. It could be like a bit like an imposter that comes and occupies the space for a period of time and becomes part of that history.
The object that inspired us most in the house was Lord Peckover's Cabinet of Curiosity, which is filled with archaeological and geological finds as well as small curio. Inspired by those themes of collecting, we decided to make a new collection for Peckover House. We've utilised surrealist techniques of collage and imagined that into a new installation for the drawing room.
The time that we spent installing the work in the drawing room was really important, and we wanted it to be very improvised and intuitive and not pre-planned or predetermined. So we set ourselves a task, if you like, of spending about 3 days, intense days, playfully arranging and rearranging the objects.
There is really a kind of a large mix of found objects and images, things from the archive like paintings by Eliza Sharple or members of the family, drawings by Lord Peckover, but then the things that we think might have been in the house from inventories and the sale documents, whether that's books or shells and stones or vases. We want to be quite playful with that by kind of swapping historical things for more modern interpretations or more contemporary, very low value, familiar objects. There was a kind of idea of how once an object has gone into an art gallery or into a museum or into a heritage property, it no longer can be handled. But when it was owned, it would have been handled all the time, whether that's an everyday domestic object or even an artwork being handled repeatedly in the studio before it's put onto display. So the hand has crept very much into the work. All the way around, you'll see images of things being touched, handled, and get a sense of the material, but there's also a sense of ownership from that kind of handling of objects.
We want the experience of the work to be in the round, so we want people to be able to walk around the artwork and view it from that perspective, but we also really want people to be able to spend some time with the work and look closely, and in a sense, the more time you spend, the closer you look, the more that it reveals itself through time.